Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here. I'm driving and shooting a video. I'm being even worse of a COVID idiot right now. No, I'm just kidding. Because I also don't wear a mask in my car. I just saw a bunch of people they're wearing masks in the cars and shit like that. So I was just thinking about, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? What's going on? No idea. It's weird traffic shit. Anyways, wow, this is actually working because I have my hand on my steering wheel. I'm not even looking at the phone, so it's actually fucking working. Good job. So I was thinking, being around the bush because I'm driving too, but so Black Lives Matter and the anti-lockdown movement have many things in common. We're both against, they're both against governmental overreach and authority, and against entrenched institutions, and certain situations with regards to the power of the government and the power of the people and all that. So I've actually had these thoughts on my mind for a while, and of course, it's very controversial and very contentious, the idea. I love this Vote Trump billboard. I wish I could film it right now. It says, Trump jobs, Biden mobs. Of course, I don't agree with that per se. I mean, Biden's a Republican. So a lot of people probably don't understand some of my satirical Rufus McDoofus videos, but I'm not into Trump or Biden, so that's the thing about that. I'm not, trying to push like a pro-Trump thing or Russia. I just like making fun. I think the left deserves to be made fun of right now because I've made fun of the right, quote unquote, for many years. And because I have this countryish project, you can look it up, called Randy America and the Proud Eagles of Freedom. And it was like a, 9/11 country songs, those patriotic songs. It was kind of a parody of that, but we did a bunch of songs, not a bunch of songs, but like 3 or 4 songs. Oh shit, gotta fucking. So I just think the moment right now is to make fun of some of the left, and I don't mean the left as in the Noam Chomsky's, Glenn Greenwald's Green Party, Jill Stein, Jacobin, Democracy Now. Even though a lot of people of that ilk are on the side of what's going on with the lockdowns and all that shit, I don't want to make fun of them as much as I do this like mainstream establishment Democrat thing mixed with the really crazy virus stuff like the lockdowns and all that, and the mandates and the hysteria and the looking at certain statistics wrong, and then like saying that people are putting people into boxes and all that, and shaming people. So anyways, that is my point about that. I'm still on the left to some, to a great extent, not some extent. I'm not a Republican. I'll never be a Republican or a right-winger in general. I do have a libertarian streak, though. I've always had that. Even in like my personal ads online, I always say that I have a little bit of a libertarian streak. So I'm a libertarian simp. Like there used to be communist sympathizer. I'm a libertarian sympathizer, so I've always been that way. I voted for Gary Johnson in 2012, so I own Ron Paul's book back in the day. I also own Bernie Sanders' book, and I also have just watching out for police, for the po-po. I also have books by Ayn Rand and shit and fucking, but I also have Karl Marx, so I'm not really into Marx that much. I think I bought a book on anarchism, Bakunin or whatever, a couple months ago. I haven't read it yet. I'd probably be more into that, honestly. But yeah, so anyways, I'm still avoiding the issue of this video. I think we can unite, against the government, authority, trying to piss on the Constitution, overreach their power, the racism of the institutional, if you believe in institutionalized race, if you believe that that's a thing, I'm just saying, just putting that out there. If you believe institutionalized racism is a thing, it's all part of the power structure that is the same thing as the neoliberalism, conservatism, corporatism, or not conservative, well, neoliberalism, corporatism, and racism kind of come from a lot of the same roots. You have this, what they used to call on the left, neo-colonialism. And that's a lot of at the root of a lot of the neoliberal. I know people say the libertarianism and neoliberalism are connected, but I mean, they might be connected in some ways, but they diverge in other ways. So for anyone who attacks me for mentioning libertarianism. So my point is that both sides, quote unquote, there's not really both sides. I mean, both sides can get together. It's like it's like Ron Paul and Dennis Kucinich or Bernie Sanders voting on a bill together. They're like, fuck this shit. We all agree on this. You can call it the, the theory of politics, where they, forgot what it's called, but it's like the Bell theory. It's like the circular, god damn it, I wish I knew what it was. I'm kind of driving, so I can't really think about, someone just was holding down a sign. The theory that far left and far right have a lot more things in common than like the moderate whatever people, or whatever that theory is. I forgot I can't really think right now as I'm driving what that's called, because I could look it up. But the fact of the matter is that I don't know if I'd agree with that, but I'd say the lockdown people, the anti-lockdown people, both, and Black Lives Matter, both have some really good points about governmental authority, police authority, institutionalized, entrenched bureaucracy, and attitudes of the power elite. So why not try to fuse some of the ideas of the two together? Why not? That's where my opinion lies. Is actually, I'm not into. See, my problem with Black Lives Matter, and I know I make fun of them in my Rufus McDoofus videos, because my problem is the hypocrisy and the astroturfing of the Democrats into that movement. That's it. I mean, I'm sure they have some stuff I probably would be find. I do find some stuff problematic. I mean, I don't like Marxism. There is some there are some BLM people into Marxism, I'm sure, and I have some problems with that. But overall, the whole idea that police are abusing their power, and there's some type of possible unconscious bias. Whether or not you call it racism, unconscious bias does exist. Bias does exist. It's just part of not neurology, but psychology, sociology. Yeah, neurology, actually. So if you study any mental science, you know that exists. It doesn't, if you want to call it racist, you want to call it just like cops being trained shittily, I think it exists. Now, and it's just a self-perpetuating cycle. So if we go to the anti-lockdown people, let's think about what they want. So what they want is a constitution to be respected, and their personal rights or civil liberties to be respected, not respected. And also for them to be able to make a living. Because, my feeding my family is fucking essential, as it didn't say fucking, but that's what the one of the signs said. That really, actually, that was when I think that was when I truly jumped on board with like the some of the people that were against the lockdowns, is when I saw that sign. One fucking sign changed my mind. I mean, I was pretty skeptical, as anyone who watches my channel know, about the whole virus stuff from the beginning, because I was like, normal, all those weird articles that seem like PSYOP, fucking CIA, Operation Mockingbird, kind of shit. It seems like some kind of public relations, Hill and Knowlton kind of like PR firm fueled, media onslaught of bullshit. We'll never be the same again. So that's why I do the Rufus McDoofus videos, is because I want to point out how ridiculous the pessimism of, and this like this weird, it's just weird. Like, I know I'm going off tangent here, but with regards to like the Spanish flu versus, you know, nobody stopped shaking hands after the Spanish flu, you know, for 100 years. That's my whole point about that. That's why I do those videos, is because this narrative is stupid, and I don't know. That's what feeds the conspiracy theories. But anyways, back to the video. I think we can find common ground, you know, between these two movements. And that sounds really bizarre and, you know, kind of on the edge of something, you know, people wouldn't understand. But it's like they're both against overreaching government authority. That's plain and simple. That's a fact. So they can, if they can unite on some fashion, you know, the Constitution. What are police doing, you know, in the inner city, as far as like, if you're black and you get stopped like 5 times in a month because, you know, you're driving a certain kind of car and they're, you know, they think, you know, I've talked to some people about that. So they get stopped for stupid shit, or for things, you know, people would normally not get stopped for, you know, just driving around town, if they were probably, you know, it's probably some unconscious bias. They're black, you know? So, and, you know, we want to stop that kind of stuff from going on. The entrenched power structures, these people that are just, you know, we want more democracy. That's a fact. So, and I know, you know, some people don't want democracy, but people want freedom, you know? They want the freedom to be able to move, to exist without the government or police stopping them from executing their constitutional rights. So yes, I think the anti-lockdown movement and you know, there could be we could think outside the box with the COVID stuff. That's what I've been trying to say in these videos, because this whack-a-mole shit, it's not sustainable. Obviously, it's not sustainable. So there's got to be a new way, whether that be having it burn through the population to develop herd immunity, which some people supposedly don't believe in now for whatever reason, even though it's like a epidemiological fact that's been talked about for centuries. That's a little bit weird, but a little bit spooky too. Just like people walking their dog alone outside with a mask on. But anyways, that's another story. So yeah, my whole point is that even with when I attack some of the mandates and stuff, is that I'm not necessarily saying that just let it burn through the population, but we've got to have a new way. So, but these people have overstepped their fucking authority a lot of the time, in, you know, whether it be political or what. And there's so many contradictions. So we can look at that as, you know, both sides. Well, for one, the anti-lockdown people, I'm sure a lot of them are Trump supporters and stuff, but they also probably aren't happy about the bailouts of the corporations and this huge, you know, oligarchy of big business that has pushed this whole thing to the brink because of the CARES Act, and, you know, not hearing enough about small business or individuals, and these, you know, both political parties have failed us. So when they attack the lockdowns, I don't think they're only attacking the fact that they can't go to their job or go get a haircut. I hope they die in a ventilator. Ah! You know, those people should be fucking punched in the face, or worse. You know, people that say that. I would like to track down their IP address and fucking, I don't know, just kick their ass because they're so fucking horrible, deplorable. Talk about deplorables. Those people are deplorable as well. People that say that kind of stuff about the COVID idiots, you know. So, yeah, government and corrupt government and corporations are ruining our planet, and the Democrats and Republicans are unified in that ultimate unconscious direction, and the anti-lockdown and the Black Lives Matter people, let's find some common ground and tear down the fucking system, because this fucking sucks, you know? I mean, find a new way. We don't know what the new way is, but we can find a new way, you know? Either way, I think we can find common ground and try to unite our belief systems and try to, you know, talk about, have a dialogue, because the fact of the matter is, when the Democrats were saying that these anti-lockdown protests were bad, and then they said, oh, Black Lives Matter is okay, we're giving them permission. It's like, cool, they can go outside, stay inside, stay inside all the time. So that's my whole point, is the hypocrisy. When I make fun of Black Lives Matter, it's the hypocrisy of the Democrats, not the actual stated movement or goals of Black Lives Matter. So I'm getting way too long-winded in this video. That's pretty much all I gotta say. I think that the neoliberal power structure establishment needs to go, whether or not, you know, you're in it from the perspective of the, you know, if you're a Republican or Democrat, if you're supporting the system, it's bad either way. And I think these are just symptoms of the system. These, you know, these weird, contradictory, draconian, corporate emphasizing lockdowns, or racist, you know, police or institutionalized, you know, overbearing police departments and stuff, and, you know, institutionalized authoritarianism with the drug war and everything, which is part of I believe should be part of the Black Lives Matter too. So that's all I gotta say. Let's give them a fucking some dynamite up their ass, the authoritarian fuckfaces that are trying to take away our society and our freedom. And let's get to work doing that. That's all I gotta say.